One big thing is the accountability mirror. You have to start with yourself. So what happened in my life was we start to get, I call it like the rucksack. A rucksack is a pack that you carry in the military, and you put all your stuff in it. Your radios, your food, your water, all that stuff you have to carry in the military. That's your rucksack. It's a backpack pretty much. As you're growing up, we all have a backpack. Most of ours, hopefully, is empty, and what we put in it is all the crap we go through in life. That's what is in the backpack for the civilians, and we carry it around with us. So what you have to start doing is realizing that no matter where you're at in life, I got called nigger a lot. My dad abused me. Learning disabilities, stutters, immaturity, insecurities, self-doubt, so much crap on top of me. So much stuff. I lied a lot to create friends. So much stuff was in my backpack. No one's coming back to help me. So it starts with that person in that mirror. You have to realize you are on your own now. And whatever else you believe in, I don't care what you believe in, but on earth, it's a very lonely journey. And it starts with the accountability mirror of looking at saying, hey, my daddy beat the hell out of me, he's not coming back. All these things are coming back. I have to face myself. And you have to own all those things that people may have done to you. Now it's yours. You got to own it. And it's yours now to fix the problems that people did to you. It makes no sense. It's not fair. I get it. But if you live in that woe is me mentality of guess what? My dad did this to me. My mom just did to me. People who bully did this to me. You're going to always live right there. You have to figure out ways to move forward because you're not coming back. It starts with the mirror. And I call it the accountability mirror in the book. If you walk into any kind of event, whether it be physical or mental, if you walk in with already putting that block on your mind of, man, this ain't gonna happen, people go, how did you run 135 miles to Death Valley? How did you run 100 miles with no training? Because I went into it not thinking, I can't do this, man. I went into it with a strategy. I had an open-mindedness. So until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you would never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, only then does it start to break down tactically how we can do this. Until then, you're going to always lose. There's energy all around us, but we think that we have to have it. It has to come externally a lot of times. We gotta have like a TV in front of us, watch somebody, listen to a podcast, listen to a great music. A lot of times in life it's quiet. And those are the times when you want to run and hide. You gotta be able to find energy. You gotta make up games, make up tricks, make up whatever you can to get to the next evolution of life. So taking souls is just another way. It's not about hurting the person you're against. It's about finding a tactical advantage in every situation you physically can to get to the next. You're trying to inch further to the goal line. And you don't want to go down. What is that goal line? The goal line is whatever it is for you. For me, I want to get through Hell Week. I want to get through Hell Week with my head up high, being strong. I don't know what the goal line is for everybody. My goal line has been very different from most people. But you're trying to find energy and strength to stay in the fight, to continue on until you get that second wind. The second wind is coming. Wherever the second wind may be for you, it's coming. But what happens is we get so stressed out that the end is so far away that we just can't find another foothold, another handhold, so we jump off the cliff and we just fall.
Well, life took me somewhere unexpected. I'm unprepared. It's about 6 degrees out here, and I'm underdressed. But guess what? No one gives a f***. You gotta get the in. Sometimes life can really hijack your mind. When that happens to you, you're all f***ed up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the window. In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the f*** over it. They no longer want you. Maybe you failed a test in school. You worked your ass off. Guess what? You failed the test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. At work, you've been working your ass off for that new promotion. You don't get it. Someone else does. Maybe they kiss better ass than you do. Guess what? Get over it. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours.
Once you transform yourself, and even though I'm not running from myself, I'm constantly facing myself. I'm constantly battling myself. I'm not running from them anymore. I used to, but now I'm constantly battling them. So now what happens is, once you get to the point in your life where you're able to be on a podcast or be on a TV show and tell everybody how f***ed up you are, I will answer any question you want about me. Anything I did, anything bad, good, ugly, I will tell you. When you get to that point in your life, that's where your real journey begins. And you no longer have to have a small victory to keep you going. You now realize what your purpose in life is. And you realize all this is just part of it. But at first, you need all these different tactics to keep you going because you haven't figured it out yet. Once you figure out that you're in a race amongst billions of people that live in this world, you're in a race by yourself. You have a purpose, and it's your purpose, not everybody else's purpose. It is your purpose and only your purpose, and it's your race. So then you're like, hey man, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing it the best of my ability. What's next? There's no longer these small increments to get through life. Because once you figure out why you're here, it just becomes a process. Talk about Mr. Dobbs. He's a good friend of mine still to this day. And he went into that place, man, and I knew where he was going. It's my third hell week, and I knew Sean real well, but I knew he was real arrogant. He had a serious chip on his shoulder like I do. I still do. I got to control it every now and then, and it got me in a lot of trouble sometimes. But I knew he had it. I knew that chip on your shoulder not being controlled, it will get you f***ed up, and it cost him a lot going through buds. And I saw the look. Because I once had a look when I was going through pararescue school. When something got so hard and your mind can't process the hardness, you don't know the right tools to get through something hard because you've never been challenged before. I could tell he was the superhuman, that nothing ever challenged him. But I knew, because I already been through Hell Week a couple times, I knew, don't underestimate that shit. It will find a demon and it will bring out some insecurities in you, and it did. And it was like maybe 30 hours in the Hell Week or something like that. I'm looking over at him, and I smile at him. We're standing just like this in line, and he's getting his med check, and doctor's looking at him. And it happened just to be beautiful timing. And I'm sitting there, I'm getting med checked, and I'm looking at him, and his eyes, says he's 1,000 yards still looking right through me. And he's getting med checked, and I'm looking at him, and before all this happened, I told him, I said, don't underestimate this man. He was, I can't ever see myself quitting Goggins. I go, watch out. I go, watch out. I go, well, get in your head. I go, the end is a long way away. So we're sitting there eye to eye, and he didn't see me, and I'm right in front of him. And I can tell he's thinking he has that quitting mind starting up. And I look at him, I go, I told you. I told you. The next thing I knew, man, our car pulls up, and he rolled out.
Rings the bell.
He rings the bell when he quits, but it was he's a great human being. Hard. It doesn't make you, when you quit something like that, man, it's a huge lesson learned that I can't go into anything thinking that there's nothing that's not going to get in my way. You got to be prepared for all those obstacles.
Picked up your book, the thing I loved about it is the amount of effort that you've been through to give us. I'm sure this was suffering too, like writing this book. The amount of effort that you've been through to actually give us detail on your life.
We all have different things in our life that have scarred us. We want to act like those scars don't exist. So those scars, like, if you go out and you get cut, that scar is going to be there on your arm. You can go down and look at that cut and say, or that scar and say, well, that happened from, I was in the kitchen, or what happened. We have the same thing in the brain. I have all these scars in my brain from growing up, from, being abused, from suffering through life, from having a learning disability, from stuttering, from having just a really bad childhood. And so all those memories, I had to cut open that scar and go into it, and that was a hard process for me to do. Not only was that a hard process for me to do, for me to have the courage to share that with people, because I'm the so-called toughest man on the planet, so they think. So for me to break open that shell and tell people, hey, that wasn't always me. It's hard to do, It's hard to do. So it was a tough process. Throughout this journey, I started becoming this new person. I started creating this new person. People started seeing me as this amazing superhero. In the back of my mind, I knew the real story. And I was like, man, one day you have to really share it. I'm like, man, but do you have the courage? It's great to live right here. I've established this. People think you're great. Just stay here. Don't go back. Let's not go back. But the only way you can help people out is let them know that this is possible. So I had to go back and say, this is where I come from.
Yeah.
And where I come from is hell. All that shit that I went through in my life to get here today, it is tattooed. It is tattooed in my brain. Every day I wake up, I am constantly battling that person that is like, man, back in the day, this happened to you, man. Like, you got called nigger so many times, and your dad beat the shit out of you, man, and, you couldn't read, and this dad going junior year. All these things start to creep up, even now where you're at today. Every day, you're having to constantly battle. It's not as bad as it used to be by any means.
Right.
But that person's still there. That person always lives. And that's the point about you have to continue to always challenge yourself every day. One thing I'm most scared of in the world is losing touch with the best thing in the world is your mind. Your mindset, how you can picture yourself, how you can focus, how you can drive, how you can put yourself in so many situations, get out of it. Because those headphones we listen to, those phones that we Google to find information, there's so many situations in my life where that shit is not going to help me. It's not going to help me.
And you're able to just turn that off.
So fast, because I know what's helped me. None of that stuff's ever helped me. Mm-hmm. None of that stuff's ever helped me. What has helped me is being me, alone, getting my shit together, and being accountable for who I'm not and who I want to be. That's the only thing that's helped me. I coach a lot of people nowadays, billionaires, who call me on the phone and say, man, I'm still missing something. It's because they did what they were good at. And they have this beautiful family, 2-3 houses, cars, everything. Has everything in the world. On the outside looking in, like, my God, man, how can you be unhappy? I walk around with a backpack with all my stuff in it, with no car.
Right.
And I walk around happiest person in the world. Have nothing. Happy as hell. It's because I found out the whole key to life. It's not in all that. You have to face yourself. So many people live to be 100 years old and they die miserable, having everything, because they never examined. I call it my live autopsy. You never examine this. Happiness, peace, enlightenment, it's all up here, man. It's all up here. And when I start talking like this, people are, man, I don't know. It's the truth, man.
Yeah, it is true.
It's all up here. You just got to be willing to go and face it. And that's the hard part. I wanted to become a Navy SEAL. I wanted people to push me outside of my comfort zone every day. And I thought this was going to be the absolute best platform to do that. These guys, the stories I heard after BUD/S, it just gets harder. And I didn't see it that way.
Because BUD/S is just to become the SEAL.
That's right. I'm like, my God, I can't imagine what the f***'s going to happen. But what happens to a lot of people, not everybody, can't speak for everybody, I don't know everybody. BUD/S breaks people down to the point where you don't want to be broken down again like that. To me, that was exactly the exact starting point for my journey in life. That was the starting point for me. For a lot of people, it's the finish line. And I didn't see it that way for me. So that's where I started becoming uncommon amongst uncommon people, is where I started realizing that you put people on a pedestal that you shouldn't. That you got to get in there yourself and examine people. See what's really about yourself. So once I got in there and realized, hey, these are just new people. Yeah, they're a lot better than some. They're able to get through. I know a lot of people who get through Navy SEAL training. But, there's a lot of mystique behind all that stuff. And I started going through and started to break it open a little bit.
a lot of hard guys, but, you know, I wanted more.